Hey there, it's Ben Housel here, and here in this tutorial we're going to be having a look at some of the basic built-in transitions in Final Cut Pro 10. We're going to have a look at some of the settings and stuff for things like page curl, for some of the circle, wipe animations, and in this video sponsored by FX Factory, we're going to be looking at how we can work effectively with some of those built-in plugins before you go and start spending money on some of the very cool plugins that are definitely available out there. We're going to kind of explore some of the creative possibilities with the built-in plugins, which is often to do with things like timing and to do with things like framing of your shots to get those transitions working just right for you. So if you like these kinds of tips and tricks and pure Final Cut Pro 10 tutorials, then please do hit the subscribe button and the notifications button. But without further ado, let's dive in and have a look at some of the built-in transition plugins for Final Cut Pro 10.
So the first thing we need to do is bring up our transitions browser on the right hand side. So if we come across the middle of our screen, across here on the right, you'll see the transitions browser, and any transitions that you install or that are built into Final Cut Pro or that you create in Apple Motion will be across here on the right hand side. So basically normally you'll be on the all transitions option when you first come in here, and we're going to come down to movements, and for the first transition we're looking for this page curl transition, which gives you this kind of turning of a page animation. So basically if I select this clip and drag it to an edit point, you can see it's going to drop onto that edit point. Okay, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we can see some of the controllers that we have for this particular transition. So the first thing is we can move where the transition falls. So if I click in the middle here, these two little arrows, I can basically roll my edit point to where I want it to fall. So I can shorten the clip beforehand, lengthen the clip after, or vice versa by dragging this edit point. When we're working with video, you'll see the kind of clips changing and where the transition's falling. If I click on these two bars here, it's actually going to shorten or lengthen the clip beforehand. Okay, so you can see I'm lengthening the entire timeline. Or with the two bars at the beginning of the transition, it's lengthening or shortening the clip after the transition. So basically those are my main controllers on the timeline. If I double click on my transition, it will open up the precision editor where I can do the same thing. So I can lengthen my transition here. I can also kind of move where that transition is falling, and I can kind of see this preview of it as well. If I double click here again, it will close that. Now if I highlight my transition like this, and we're using the select tool to do this, so if you don't have the select tool selected, then you'll want it selected at this particular point in time. And if we grab that, select here, and then come up to our inspector on the top right, you'll see some options for our transition. So I'm just going to move my playhead so it's kind of halfway into the transition. And basically, if you don't see the inspector on the right hand side, then just go to Window, Show in Workspace, and make sure the inspector is checked. Okay. And now if we come up to the top right, you can see we've got options for which direction the page is peeling, left or right. We can also come onto our canvas and basically change the angle of our page peel. So we can have it come down from the top, we can have it kind of roll up from the bottom, and you can see we've got a nice level of control over the direction in which that page is peeling. So we'll kind of have it coming from somewhere close to the default here. We can also change kind of the center of the peel, so a little bit of the angle of the peel. Okay, so these two arrows are changing a couple of different things, just the orientation and the kind of angle of our peeling page. And then you can see we've also got the radius of our peel. So you can see here we can increase the radius and it will basically change the way that page is peeling. So it's kind of rolling a bit flatter. Okay, and if we drop this down, we're going to get a much kind of tighter peel. You can see we get this kind of little loop because we've changed the angles and the way that it's working. We can also shorten the length of the transition on the timeline as well by dragging in these bars here. So you can see now if I play this through, I get this light little whip of the page rolling off the screen, and I can speed that up. Okay. So the last thing we have in here, or last couple of things we have in here, one, we can reset our transition. So if I come to page curl, you can see I've got this little hooked arrow up at the top right, and that allows me to set all the, or reset all the parameters for my transition. And if I come down to this back color, you can see basically at the moment it's using the image as the back color. But if I click here, I can choose a preset color that I've already defined, so we can get it to match with these RGB sliders, our color scheme and that type of stuff. Or we can pick a color that we've already kind of pre-chosen from here. So the other option is if we drop down this arrow, we can basically change the color by hovering over the hue here, change the darkness by moving to the right, change the lightness by moving to the left. So we've got a nice level of control over the color of the kind of back of that page peel, which is nice if you want to get it to match your color scheme in your edit. So let's add another transition here. We'll have a look now at the slide transition. So I'm going to come ahead to the transition between these two clips. So we have this surf guy walking on the beach, and I'm just using the J, K, and L keys to play forwards and backwards and pause my clip. And you can see here we've got this transition from the beach to the surfer. And we are going to come down to our movements again, and we're looking for the slide transition. So I'm going to come down to slide and just drop this onto the edit point. Now we'll notice something different when we do this, and this is because these are video clips, not still images. We'll notice that there's not enough extra media beyond the clip edges to create the transition. So basically what this means is that we're working with the original clip, and that means there can be no overlap between those two clips. So if I click Create Transition, you can see my clip actually shortens by a couple of seconds. Let's just do that again. So I'm going to grab the slide transition and drop it onto this edit point. And when we create the transition, you can see my duration of my sequence is 142. And if I click Create Transition, it moves to 140. So basically it's trimmed off a second off the beginning and end of each of those clips to actually fit the transition in there. So I'm going to select this and we'll zoom in a little bit. So you can see here we've got our transition sliding on, and actually I want to change the way this works. I want to actually have the transition happen when this guy's moving up the wave here, so it's kind of a bit more of a dynamic movement. So if I zoom in here, and I'm just using Command and Plus again to zoom in, I can shorten that clip so that when we come into this second clip, you can see in my viewer up here, I'm seeing the new incoming clip of that second clip. So basically, we'll come to around about here. And let's play this through. Okay, and we're in the right spot, but we're just moving in the wrong direction. So when we're kind of having this slide on from the left, we want to change that so the direction is coming to the left. So we're going to change that to left up here. And now we can see when we slide on. Okay, and we just need to trim this down a little bit. So timing and speed is everything in your transition. And I'm going to shorten this as well. This is 2 seconds long, which is a little bit too long. Okay, and now we'll come back a little bit. Okay, so you can see we're trying to get the movement to match that surfer coming in. So I'm going to actually come back a little bit more. And we'll trim this down, and we will just get this at just the right spot just by tweaking this gradually. So you can see now we have that transition coming on towards the left from the right, and we get that kind of nice match of the movement. And movement and kind of positioning is everything in a transition. We also have this kind of option for how the slide transition works. So whether it's a slide in, a slide out, or a slide push, or a slide swap. So you can play with those and kind of see which option is going to work best. So let's try a slide push. Okay, that's working quite nice. And we've got our audio crossfade in here. We're not going to really worry too much about that at the moment. There's no sound on this video, but you can see we're gradually getting closer to exactly the right spot and speed for that clip. So we move between one and the next clip perfectly. Okay, so let's have a look now at the circle wipe, which again is a kind of different sort of wipe. So we're going to come to this point where he drops off the wave, and I'm going to trim down my clip so I don't get that error. And then here, just when the camera's steady, we're going to have this guy catching the next wave. So basically, this is my edit. He drops off. And he drops onto the wave. So basically here, we want to use a circle transition to highlight this guy as he comes up on his board. So we're going to come to wipes and down to the circle transition. And if we drag this onto our edit point, you can see now we're getting that nice kind of opening up of the next clip, but it's not quite in the right spot. And that's where these on-screen controllers come into play. So if I move this, I can change where this is centered through the transition. Okay, I'm going to change the speed of this as well to a bit of a faster transition. So you can see we drop and then we move to that next clip nice and speedily. Now with our circle transition, again up in the inspector we have some extra options. So the wipe transition was really all about changing the direction. We can add some customization in terms of offsetting these two clips here. But in the circle transition, you can see we've got a lot more options. So basically, we've got our direction, we've got our center point. This will kind of change the blur edge. Okay, so the edge treatment. So we can basically almost fade these into one another. And these options are in more detail under the edge treatment options here. Now, when you're working with more advanced transitions, then basically you'll find that they have a lot more options within the inspector. But here for our edge treatment, we've really got the option between having a feather, a solid color, or noir. So if we just move to the middle here, we'll have a look at what those three options look like. So if I drop my feather down here, you can see I can get to this nice hard edge. I can change it to a solid color, where basically now we have a border. And we can again change the color of that border. So we can match the color that we're using. So we get something like this. And then the noir option, if we select that, basically kind of makes it look like this almost drop shadow or inner glow to that, which we're not going to use. So we're going to go for a solid color. So for a border, and you can see now when we hit play, basically we kind of get that in exactly the right spot and it opens up around here. Now if you want to do kind of more precise timing or duration timing of your transition, then we can hold down Control and tap D. So at the moment my transition is happening over 1 second. I might want it to be a bit quicker than that. So I'm going to type in 20 frames. So it's going to shorten it slightly, about 2/3 of the length. And now you can see we get that kind of much quicker sort of transition. And let's increase the border a bit here so we get a kind of nice big graphic. And then obviously we could slow it right down and have a very slow kind of transition and reveal. So that's really a basic overview of how we work with transitions in our projects. If we right click on a transition, we can also come into those options as well for changing the duration, so Control and D, or showing the precision editor, Control and E if we want to, but double clicking works just as well. And I am a big fan of Control and D. I use it a lot to change the duration of my clips, my transitions. Also, if I want to get all my transitions exactly the same length, I can hold down Command and select all of these, and then go to Control and D, and make all my transitions, let's say 25 frames long, and it will shorten them all up. So now all of my transitions are going to be nice and quick. Let's change the duration actually to 1:10, just so they're a bit slower. And you can see now all of our transitions are kind of happening at the same pace, with their slide transitions, circle transitions, and so on and so forth. We can also search for transitions in our index as well. So if you're looking for transitions, you can find them with this transition icon in the index. And we can also in the index search for specific transitions. So if we've used a slide somewhere and we know that, we can search for slide and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of kind of neat ways of grabbing and selecting transitions, but this is essentially a basic overview of how to work with them. Now, if you're looking for more advanced transitions, then as I mentioned, this video is sponsored by FX Factory. So do go and check out some of the transitions they have. The panel pop, for instance, by Stupid Raisins, a real nice highly editable transitions with a lot of very cool features that you can use in your videos to add some glitch-like animated panel transitions to your edits. So do go check that out. Watch the preview, download the free trial, and be sure to hit subscribe and notifications. And I look forward to seeing you on the next tutorial.